Habit or hunger? Understanding the difference after weight loss surgery can be challenging. In this episode of WLS Delight, we're going to explore the drivers of head hunger and how to differentiate real hunger from habit. I'll never forget the day I realized my brain had been hijacked. I was out to lunch at a restaurant with my husband and a colleague. Anytime the three of us went to this place, we would share the truffle fries appetizer. I rarely eat fries, but I make an exception for the truffle fries at this place because they are out of this world. When they arrive at the table, it's like the heavens open up and the angels sing, oh! Anyway, we had ordered the truffle fries and they arrived at our table. I was about to put some on my plate when I stopped and asked myself, wait a minute, am I even hungry? My mouth was certainly watering, but that was because of the amazing truffle aroma. But when I stopped and paid close attention to my body, I realized I was not hungry. But boy, those fries sure looked good. I wanted to eat them at that moment, but for all the wrong reasons. I wanted to eat the truffle fries because my head said, hey, it's lunchtime and this is when society says I should be eating. Also, it was a social situation, and that's what we're supposed to do in social situations, right? And of course, I wanted to eat them because I knew they would taste super yummy. But I was really bothered that I was about to scarf them down when I wasn't even hungry. In my moment of clarity, I decided right then and there not to have any. I also asked that the salmon that I had ordered for my entree instead be boxed so I could eat it later when I was truly hungry. Here's the deal. Right-sized living is far easier to maintain if we only eat when we're hungry, when we listen to what our body needs instead of what our head wants or thinks it should want. Today, I'm going to share with you some tips to differentiate real hunger from head hunger. But first, we'll identify three big factors that trigger head hunger. The first trigger is cultural. In a way, we've been programmed from a young age to behave certain ways around food. We've been programmed when to eat. As a society, we eat breakfast in the morning, lunch midday, and dinner in the evening, and perhaps some snacks in between. We're programmed that we eat eggs for breakfast, but not for dinner. Who decided all this anyway? Why do we just fall into the herd mentality and eat at the times and frequencies that society says we should, instead of listening to what our bodies tell us we need? Many years ago, I was working with a bariatric nurse practitioner and nutritionist in one of my early efforts to lose regain. She instructed me to really pay attention to my body and to not eat my first meal of the day until I truly felt hungry. I figured it would be a no-brainer because I always ate when I got to the office in the morning around 8:30, but I did as she said and I paid attention. I was shocked to realize that I wasn't hungry when I got to the office. I waited it out and discovered that I wasn't hungry till around lunchtime. Paying attention day after day, I realized I had been eating hours before I was truly hungry. So I made a change and began eating my first meal of the day at noon or later when my body signaled me that it was time. Some might say, but you're skipping the most important meal of the day. No, I'm not. I'm just having it at a different time. I have my lunch and dinner later too. Sometimes I only have 2 meals if that's what my body is telling me it needs. Although keep in mind, it should also align with your doctor's protocols, and those can vary widely. Now guess what I've discovered? My body functions better. I don't have funky gas pains and bloated belly like I used to. My brain functions better. I have greater clarity and cognition. Besides, are you so certain that breakfast isn't the result of clever marketing by cereal companies? Now there's something to ponder. There are tons of studies that favor both points of view. What's your opinion? I want to know. Share in the comments below. And cultural pressures also include the social element. You're expected to eat at parties, holidays, celebrations, lunch meetings, barbecues, you name it. Food is woven into so many facets of our culture. People are always trying to push food on you. They give it as gifts or thank yous. Oh, here's a box of chocolates for Valentine's Day. Or as a thank you for dining at a restaurant, they might put mints on the tray with your check. You don't have to do what society dictates. In fact, it's very freeing to live to the beat of your own drum. The second trigger that causes us to eat when we're not hungry is our habits. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot of habits connected to food. I don't know about you, but habits are one great big minefield for me. I have a history of eating chocolate when I read mystery novels. I have a history of eating when I watch television. Our lives are interlaced with habits that trigger us to eat when we're not hungry. What are yours? Is it a drive-through you habitually hit on the way to work? Maybe it's eating while driving in your car. Maybe you eat at your computer while you're working. Share in the comments below what habits cause you to eat when you're not hungry. Habits are tough because they happen on autopilot. You don't think, you just do. Ever look down and find yourself mindlessly eating a snack that you don't even remember getting from the kitchen? That is the power of habit. Whew, they are tough to break, but the good news is that they can be broken. It all begins with the awareness you'll begin to cultivate in just a moment when we talk about how to differentiate head hunger from habit. But first, there's one more trigger to identify, and that is your emotions. A lot of times we eat to feed our emotions instead of to feed our hunger. It can be really uncomfortable to face emotions like fear, anxiety, loneliness, boredom, stress, anger, sadness. Many of us would rather bury the pain with food than deal with it head on. When the trigger for head hunger is our emotions, we tend to crave hyperpalatable foods that combine just the right amount of sugar, fat, and salt to release feel-good chemicals that can make your brain feel happy and reduce physical pain. They also activate the reward circuitry in your brain, so you want to do it again and again and again. Now that you know the 3 big triggers for head hunger, you can work on creating an awareness that will help you better differentiate between head hunger and habit. You'd think this would be easy, but it's not always. Head hunger can feel powerful. Here are some differentiators that can help you learn to know the difference. The first is speed. Head hunger comes on quickly because it is typically triggered by one of those 3 factors we just discussed. It hits fast, like a Formula One race car going from 0 to 62 miles an hour in 2 seconds flat. Real physical hunger comes on gradually. It's kind of like the temperature rising from morning to afternoon. It builds slowly. The second differentiator is urgency. Head hunger feels urgent. It's like your brain's been taken over by a raging monster ready to destroy anything or anyone that gets between it and food. You'll eat the first thing you see. Think Cookie Monster from Sesame Street. Me want cookie. Me eat cookie. Oh, num 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 num. His need for cookies was always urgent. Belly hunger, on the other hand, is more controlled. You know you'd like to eat soon, but you can wait a little bit. You have time to prepare a nice, nutritious meal. Another differentiator is timing. Head hunger doesn't care if you just ate an hour ago. In fact, you can be physically full, even to the point of feeling sick, but your head still wants food. In the extreme, it's wanting to keep eating when you're stuffed. This happens to me. In fact, there are times that I get frustrated that I'm full and can't fit in another bite. In fact, I used to set what was left aside and try to fit in another bite 15 minutes later. That's a really bad idea, by the way. We had surgery to create restrictions so we wouldn't overeat. Second helpings 15 to 30 minutes later or grazing all day are your sneaky way of trying to work around your tool, and it's only going to get you in trouble. Yes, you can regain weight. Take it from me, who regained 50 pounds. Thankfully, I was able to get my head together, take it back off, and stay on track. The timing of true physical hunger is tied to how much fuel your body has run through. Think of your body like a car. The more you drive it, the harder you drive it, the faster you empty the tank. Usually it will take your body at least 3 or 4 hours since you last ate before it requires more fuel. Of course, that's assuming you ate a well-balanced meal and not slider foods that are going to run right through your system. If you're not familiar with slider foods, those are foods lacking in nutrition like chips, crackers, popcorn, candy, cookies, and cakes. Another differentiator are the physical sensations your body provides as signals. When it's head hunger, there are no physical hunger sensations below the neck. Your mouth might be watering, your nose might be following a wonderful aroma, your brain might be convinced you need it, but there's nothing below the neck. When it's true physical hunger, your body will provide signals. It might be a mild burning sensation or a tingling. Your belly might even make gurgling noises. I would describe my hunger as a warm, energetic vibration signaling that the engine is running, but there is very little fuel left to burn in the tank. That feeling is different for everyone, so pay attention and become familiar with what physical hunger feels like for you. What you crave is yet another differentiator. Head hunger steers you towards the crap foods that do not offer the fuel that your body really needs. Head hunger wants the chips, the cookies, the breads, the candy bars. Real hunger will steer you towards food containing the nutrients you need. Foods with sustenance like lean meats, beans, veggies, fruits. Here's a quick checklist to help you differentiate head hunger from belly hunger. When was the last time you ate? If it was less than 3 hours ago, it's most likely head hunger. Are you feeling physical hunger sensations below the neckline? If not, it's probably head hunger. On a scale of 1 to 5, how hungry are you? 1 is starving. You're so hungry your belly feels like it's on fire. You might feel lightheaded. You need fuel ASAP. 2 is hungry. Your belly is gurgling. It's getting hard to focus on the task at hand. 3 is mildly hungry. You can hold out a bit longer if needed. 4 is satiated. There are no hunger urges whatsoever. 5 is stuffed like a Thanksgiving turkey. Hopefully you don't end up here, but sometimes it happens because our bellies typically fill up before the fullness signal reaches our brain. Here's a quick test I call dangle the carrot. Think of a carrot or another nutrient-dense food option that you enjoy. If it sounds appetizing, then it's highly likely that you're truly hungry. If not, it's more likely to be head hunger that causes you to crave the hyperpalatable foods. Quick recap. 3 common things that trigger head hunger include cultural programming, habits, and emotional eating. Differentiators between head hunger and real hunger include speed. How quickly does that hunger strike? Urgency, timing since you last ate, physical sensations, and what you crave. Remember, use a mental checklist. When did you last eat? What physical sensations are you experiencing? On a scale of 1 to 5, how hungry are you? And dangle the carrot to help determine how hungry you really are. If you're interested in continuing to learn how to achieve and maintain right-sized living after weight loss surgery, be sure to subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell. For more tools and support, check out WLSDelight.com and my private Facebook group. Links to both are provided below in the description. Until next time, my friends, live with purpose, live with courage, and live with delight.